Look crazy, don't I? Guess what? Okay. That's what this place did to me. So, let me just be making very clear. This video is not to slander Cummins. It's not to take anything away from them. When I worked here, in my life, I've never had anything good as these places going for me. And they employed me, and it was more than grateful. And I'm not here to slander them. I'm here to just tell my story on how I was treated by the animals that run the blockline. Paul Beaver, Mick Heron, Steve Massey, James Rowley, Dan Lewis Burton, Nesson, yeah, nasty pieces of work. Nasty pieces of work, yeah. One thing I want to explain is I'm not doing this. I'm not your how can I put it? My wife, she's white. My kids are half white. The majority of my friends, they're all white. If I'm with a black person, it's either a family member or something. I moved to the UK in 2001 from Zimbabwe. Couldn't speak a word of English. The UK welcomed me with opening arms. Listen to where I sound. I got bullied. Nah, I didn't really get bullied, but like, look at where I sound. I sound like you. I came here, I migrated, I adapted, and it's like I see a lot of people when they say, oh, Tommy Robinson, all right, I'm not getting too much into it, but I get where a patriotic British person will not accept certain, not that they don't accept, but like if you meet a real patriotic, because the way they see it is you've moved to the UK and you haven't adapted, you're not adapted, but you haven't embraced their culture, you haven't moved over, and then, long story short, I'm not doing this to play the race card. I'm not doing this for a payday. I've never experienced racism in my life. I've always been able to fit in anywhere I go. I've never had a problem. I've always been able to fit in. And the things I experience here, so the concept of me being dressed like this is, that's how this place made me feel. It literally made me feel like this. That's how I felt. Just lost. Like, I used to travel here every day. I'm from Northampton. So I used to travel here. It took me an hour to get here. My son's autistic. My partner worked at the NHS at the time, and we've got 2 other kids that we have. So we'd get all 3 kids ready in the morning. We'd drop my son off at the nursery. My wife would drop me off here. Then she would go drop my other son off at school, and then she'd go to work. That's how I got to work every day for 9 months. Yeah, I was late once on my first day. And yeah, they penalised me for it. They which is fair. I was late. I hold my hands up. I was late. I'm not saying that everything that I'm saying, like I did this, I did that. That was fine. Everything. It was in my head. There was nothing wrong with it, because you know what? I'm doing things wrong. So therefore, like, and you know what as well? Why I accepted it is because the place that it is, the pay's good, and it's kind of a place you're lucky to be here. So I can't afford. They run a tight ship. So on my first day, I was penalised for being a minute late because I couldn't really find where the area was, and it was taking us a while. It was taking us coming to work and coming out. It was taking us a while. There was traffic and it was a bit blocked. So anyway, I was a minute late on the first day for my induction. Not even for the proper day shift induction, where we were just in a room and just talk. Yeah, which is fine. I knew this. I knew I had to resurrect this. I had to make this right. So I'm a hard worker. Like I said, I was happy to be here. I felt special. I knew that me working here was a privilege. So I put the work in. And like I said to you, I've never had anything going good for me in my life, ever. Yeah, I just run the streets, make a little bit of money, whatever. This was real money. This was a real future. Like, my future was embedded here. So I was penalised for that minute. They kept bringing it up. And so when I knew I was a minute late. So for the first month when I worked at Cummins, I worked every day. In fact, for the first 3 months, I did overtime. So imagine that. I've just started working there. I've not even qualified. I'm not even signed off on anything. I'm already doing overtime. That's how ambitious I was, yeah? And I worked for 3 months. I worked solid, doing overtime all the time, like literally just trying to show, like, look, I'm a good worker. I was never late again. In that manner, they tried to bring it up, but they were clocking errors. They're liars. They're full-on liars. These people are systematic. So, and so I knew I had to put the work in. So I put the work in. So you have reviews, probation reviews when you're on probation. And I've gone into my first probation review after 6 weeks. My attendance is a cause for concern. You what? it was a 5. So you've got actual stages, like it could have been satisfactory, it could have been like needs work or good, or no, it was a cause for concern because that's 1 minute late, which is fine. I queried it a little bit. He said whatever, but at this time I wasn't really embedded in the company. I didn't know anyone. I didn't speak to anyone. It all started coming to light when I started speaking to people, that no one else was going through some of the things I was going through in this place. Yeah, like prime example is a 19-year-old boy. His 2 brothers works here. I've got no problem with him. I love him. Good friend of mine. The way he came into this business and accelerated, you would have thought, what? Like, this kid has come from school, he's coming to this engineering firm, show them, he's coming to this engineering firm, and the way he's accelerated, I come from corporate racing, I know what I'm talking about with engineering. No, the way he accelerated and beat and would put on here, do this, do that, do this, do that. Yeah, it was a different, love? Yeah, it was a different, the way they systematically do things here. And the thing is, I was used to having conflict with slow, jumped up street people, yeah, dummies. So I've come in here now trying to think I could do my normal thing that I usually do. It didn't work. I was systematically bullied. I was systematically bullied after bullying, after bullying, after bullying. And when I've tried to raise this, so then after 6 weeks, I thought, oh, cool, let me put some more work in. I'm kind of doing overtime. We've come back again 12 weeks later. It's still the same thing. And then now, and then now adding more stuff in there, penalising me about other stuff, targets and all this, and telling I'm not hitting targets. I'm not being funny, yeah. I'll tell you, like I can't actually, because I'm not allowed to disclose how they're working it. But I could do all the work in there, yeah. I signed the form, so I won't say that. But yeah, like the work is very easy. Like I'm saying to you, if a boy who's come from school could come in here and accelerate to the point where they think he's amazing. What was wrong with me then? What was also? Because they're making everything up. That's it for today. I'll be back.